Good morning, everyone. Happy fall. It's the first day of fall today, and I thought it'd be fun to vlog just to kind of mix it up. So I have some errands I have to run that are somewhat fall related. I plan to bake this afternoon, and I'm making a seasonal sheet pan supper too, which I think is going to be very tasty. So come along. Breakfast time. Want a bite? Andrew and I are going to have poached eggs for breakfast. So first you bring some water to a boil, and then you can reduce the heat so it's more like a simmer. And then I'm gonna crack in the eggs, and I usually let these cook just for about 3 minutes. This is actually my second breakfast. I usually start by finishing up any leftovers on my kids' plates. I have 3 older kids that already went to school a couple hours ago, and I finished up some apple cinnamon yogurt and some oatmeal with brown sugar, cinnamon, and fresh apples in it. So now I'm hungry again. I just ate a biscuit. I made homemade biscuits a few nights ago, so I enjoyed that.
Mom,
and now,
Mom?
Yes? We're gonna have poached eggs.
Yeah, but can you flip my poached egg?
You want me to flip it?
Yeah, but can I have 2 poached eggs?
2?
Yeah.
Okay. Show me your muscles. Yeah, that's why we eat our poached eggs, right?
Yeah.
How do they taste, Andrew?
Good?
We're at Walmart. I'm looking for mums. They're $5.97 here, which is a decent price, although it's better at Aldi. I think they're $3.99 a piece, but my Aldi is completely sold out. So I want just a couple of small mums to put on my front steps. I don't go crazy with decor anywhere in my home, but I do like a little bit of fall decor. It's just my favorite. We're also looking for some seasonal candies. I want to check out the Halloween costumes because my kids have been asking to buy those soon because Halloween is only a month and 2 weeks away, so we got to get our costumes right now. We'll see what we see. So I got 3 mums at Walmart in different beautiful colors, and we found some Halloween costume essentials. One of my sons wants to be Sonic, so I found that. It might be a little big though, so we'll try it on and see. And then my son Andrew wants to be Spider-Man, and we have a Spider-Man costume, but the gloves and the mask have since been thrown away because they kind of unraveled. So we found him the gloves, and I'm gonna order him a mask online that glows in the dark, so that should be pretty cool. But I bought some other toiletries and things, but I did want to show you this onesie. They have the cutest little onesies. This is the Garanimals brand, I think. Yeah, and all the girl ones have like this ruffling around the shoulder, which I love. The patterns are super cute. Claire looks very good in blue. So I already bought her a couple long sleeve ones. I think I showed those on Instagram, but this is a 12-month. She'll be 1 in a month. And but she's tall, so she needs some short sleeved onesies too, in case it's not cool, which it's actually really nice today. It's in the mid 60s. for the first day of fall. But yesterday it was like 86, so we need to have some short sleeve options too. Lunch today is leftovers from dinner last night. I made creamy Italian chicken and pasta, and that's actually a recipe for my channel, so I'll link that for you down below. But it is so good. Okay, so right now I'm gonna bake my favorite fall dessert. It's pumpkin chocolate chip squares. This is a Martha Stewart recipe. I've been making this for almost decades now. It's kind of a really moist, slightly dense pumpkin cake filled with chocolate chips. It's so delicious. I make this recipe several times every fall. So let me show you how I make it. I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour in this mixing bowl, and then I'm going to add a teaspoon of baking soda, and I'm gonna add a tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice. Oh good, this measuring spoon fits in there. So we'll just do 3 teaspoons, which equals a tablespoon. And this is a really yummy mix of cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, ginger, and allspice. It smells amazing. Lastly, for the dry ingredients is just a ½ teaspoon of salt. This recipe seriously could not be easier. It takes no time to whip together. And we'll whisk this up. For the wet ingredients, I have a stick of unsalted butter that's at room temperature. I just put mine in the microwave for like 20 seconds and that worked perfectly fine. And then to that, I'm adding a 1.25 cups of white sugar. And then I'm going to use my electric hand mixer to blend that together. My butter and sugar are creamed together, so next I'm adding in 1 egg and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And I'll incorporate that, and then we'll add the pumpkin. This recipe calls for a cup of pumpkin puree, and I already used part of a can of pumpkin for another recipe, so this is about a cup left over. So we'll add that in. Hi, Andrew. Now I'm going to add in half of the flour mixture and beat that together. And the other half of the flour goes in. The final step is to incorporate the chocolate chips. So I have a 12-ounce bag of semi-sweet chocolate chips. I usually like to use the mini chips, but I just checked I didn't have any in my pantry.
Okay.
So,
Mom,
you want some, Andrew?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, I'm just gonna fold in these chocolate chips. So I have a rubber spatula here for this. And you don't want to overmix the batter, so you can see there's a little bit of flour left over on the sides, and I'll just incorporate that as I stir in the chocolate chips. And that's it, that's the batter. I'm gonna line my 13 by 9 inch glass baking dish with aluminum foil, and then I'll also spray it just so nothing sticks. So this should keep the pan clean and then also make it very easy to take the pumpkin chocolate chip squares out. And then you just spread the batter evenly inside the pan, and it bakes for 35 to 40 minutes at 350 degrees. So I'm gonna put a toothpick in the middle just to see if it comes out clean. Ooh, aside from chocolate, there aren't any crumbs, so they're definitely baked through. So while I've been baking, Sean was trimming up a brisket and seasoning it. We're gonna bring it to our friend's house this weekend. He's gonna smoke it on our grill. And then he decided to experiment with making his own, he's making his own tallow. So he took all the fat and ground it up in our food processor, and now he's cooking it down. What are some things you can use the tallow for, honey?
Incorporating some of that fat back into a brisket, used for cooking eggs, anything really, I guess, that you're cooking savory that needs some fat to cook with, like maybe a substitute for lard or butter, but they can serve any of those purposes.
He made the tallow, and I forgot to mention, he also made clarified butter, also known as ghee, the other day. He's been watching tons of videos about briskets and smoked meats and evidently different kinds of fats too that you can use to make them taste amazing. With clarified butter, you just like simmer several sticks of butter until the milk fats separate, like the solids separate from the liquid, and you get rid of all the solids and you're just left with the liquid. So it's actually, what did they say? It's dairy free now?
Yeah, it should be like 99%.
Pretty much 99% dairy free. It doesn't burn at a high heat.
Yeah.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah, from what I read,
it has a high smoke point. I think that's what they say.
400 degrees Fahrenheit is
Yeah, so you could use this, like if you're cooking a steak in a cast iron skillet, we could use this and we wouldn't fill our entire kitchen with smoke, which is what we normally do when we use butter. So this got extra hard in the refrigerator. He just took it out of there. So obviously you could bring it more to room temperature, but we'll see how it is. Okay, Man's family recipe. What do you notice? Does it taste any different?
Yeah, it does. It's more, I don't know, almost like oily tasting. It doesn't really have a flavor.
Oh, okay.
I think it just kind of provides some moisture.
Oh, interesting. Also, it said we should use unsalted butter, which we did. So that unto itself doesn't have much
definitely
flavor.
tastes butter-like.
Yeah.
When you try it, you'll notice that, but it's you can definitely tell there's no dairy in it, though. That's
Yeah.
one thing I would say. You can definitely tell there's no, not that you could taste dairy, but you could definitely can with this.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And there's my biscuit, my delicious biscuit.
Gonna try it out.
I think I will. I think it tastes like butter. It's really good, but you can tell it's different.
It feels like it's missing the creaminess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so it has more of an oily consistency.
Yeah.
Still tastes like butter, but yeah, you're right. Because it doesn't have that milk fat. It's just like thin grease. But that'll be good because he's going to put that all over his brisket. So I think that'll be delicious. These pumpkin chocolate chip squares are so good. They're crumbly. You probably want to eat them with a fork, although I just eat them with my fingers. I cut them into small bites and then eat like 20 of them throughout the day because I have no self-control around these. But they're like a little bit more dense than a regular cake, and they're super moist from the pumpkin. They have a great flavor from the pumpkin spice, and I love the combination of chocolate and pumpkin together. So definitely give these a try. And they're so easy. They're so easy. I always, like at the beginning of fall, well, as soon as I see pumpkin puree on the shelves, because I typically shop at Aldi and it's not there year round. So as soon as they put it on the shelves, I buy several cans, and excuse me, I always have the other ingredients on hand in my pantry. I keep bags of chocolate chips and then the rest are just pantry staples, so I can whip these up in no time. They're great to bring as a hostess gift or if you're going to a party. They're awesome. Definitely try these out. So I'm starting with a little bit of ice in a glass, and I'm gonna add in just a splash of this Tallow Classic Chai Latte mix. It's already sweetened. It's quite sweet, so I don't use too much. I don't use as much as they recommend, at least for one beverage. I'll kind of top it off with my milk. I just have 2%, but I'll leave a little room for a splash of Chobani oat coffee creamer in pumpkin spice. The only problem is this is also sweetened, so I can't use too much of it, even though I wish I could get a little more of that pumpkin spice flavor, but I don't want the drink to be too sweet. But then I'll mix it all together, and that will be a delicious afternoon pick-me-up. Incidentally, I wanted to mention, despite the fact that I didn't get to Dunkin' this morning, I have been loving their nutty pumpkin drink. It's an iced coffee with lots of cream and then equal parts hazelnut swirl and the pumpkin spice flavoring. And of course, you could increase or decrease the amount of pumps you get of each flavoring, but it's a really good combination. Plus, it's less expensive than the lattes because it's not a milk-based drink. They just add the cream to it. But I will say they use a lot of cream, which I love. I'm gonna get started on dinner for tonight. I'm just doing a sheet pan supper with some more fall flavors. So I have a butternut squash here and then some Brussels sprouts, and I found this harvest apple sausage at Aldi. So it's just like an apple chicken sausage, but it's seasonal at Aldi. They also had a cranberry sage flavor that sounds really yummy too, and it's organic. Sounds like it'll be healthy and also taste really awesome. So I'm gonna cut this up into chunks. I'll trim up my Brussels sprouts, dice up, probably not all of this butternut squash, there's a lot there. I think I'll add another bag of Brussels sprouts too, because surprisingly, most people in my family actually love Brussels sprouts. I'm talking about my kids. And my husband and I do too, but sometimes that's kind of a stereotypical ingredient that kids do not enjoy. But yeah, I'm gonna spread it out on the sheet pan. We'll drizzle it with olive oil, salt and pepper, and then roast it in the oven, probably around 400 to 425 degrees, maybe for about a half an hour, and it should be perfect. I just wanna note, I don't know if you can see my clock, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm getting dinner ready because it's a soccer night. So we have to eat dinner really early, and then we'll just have snacks later on afterwards. Also, as a side note, these Brussels sprouts are super stinky today, like extra smelly, but they look totally fresh and good. There isn't like any bad ones in the bag, so I don't know what's going on there. Andrew asked if this was a cantaloupe, but this is my butternut squash. I peeled some of the skin off, and now I'm going to chop it up. And there's Andrew.
I take a picture.
I have this random grapefruit spoon. It has a serrated edge, so I like to use that if I have cantaloupe, or in this case butternut squash, to kind of help me get some of the seeds and these insides out. I decided to split my ingredients between 2 sheet pans because then they would have a better chance of kind of caramelizing instead of just steaming. Typically when I make this dinner, I use bell peppers, onions, broccoli, and regular sausage. So I just thought this would be sort of a seasonal change up to that. So now I'm gonna drizzle on some olive oil and season it with salt and pepper. And I think I'm gonna add some onion powder too. My daughter doesn't love big pieces of cooked onion, but I do want a little bit of that flavor in there. So I'll add that, maybe a little garlic powder too. And then we'll roast them. And over here you can see we've made a sizable dent already in the pumpkin chocolate chip squares because they are amazing. Someone's up from her nap. Hi, Claire. She has my pen. I love you, Claire. Hi. Okay, these turned out really nice. I did about probably 40 minutes in my oven at 425. You can see the sausage got a little caramelized on the outside, and so did the butternut squash and the Brussels sprouts. And they taste great. So we're just gonna eat them despite the aroma. They don't smell bad. They smell like Brussels sprouts do, but just like extra strong. Well, they did when I opened the package. Now they just smell like they normally would when you're cooking them. But anyway, we got some nice extra crispy pieces. I might hit them with a little extra salt at the end here, and dinner is served. And it's, oh no, it's not 4:25. It's 4:23, which means we need to eat in about 10 minutes and then hit the road. This dinner was so simple and incredibly delicious. Just a heads up, this apple chicken sausage does have a strong ginger flavor, so if you don't like that, I don't think you would like the sausage, but otherwise it tasted great. So I'm at soccer right now with all the kids. 4 out of my 5 kids play, and all their practices are within like a 2-hour time frame a couple nights a week, which is very nice. We can just go and get it all done. And the weather is really nice, so I can go for a walk, and it's just pleasant to sit outside and watch the kids practice. So I wanted to mention earlier from my little Walmart trip, I was looking for Hershey's miniatures candy bars, but only the ones in the fall wrapping. For me, that is like the sign of fall. I always buy a bag and just have them out on my counter to snack on. It's something my mom always bought, and I was looking for those today, and this is the first year ever that I wasn't able to find them at Walmart anyway. Maybe I can go look at a different grocery store. But I was so disappointed because I wasn't just gonna buy the regular Hershey's miniatures, which they did have in pretty large bags. I need the fall wrappers. That is crucial. I also love gummy pumpkin candies, kind of like gumdrops with the sugar on the outside. They taste like orange. And usually I'll pick up a bag of those at like a local, not farmer's market, but like if we go to an apple orchard, pumpkin patch kind of a place, they'll have a shop with all kinds of treats like pumpkin butter, apple butter, and candy galore. So that's where I'll get them. I think I'm planning on taking my kids there in a few weeks when they have a day off of school. And maybe I can vlog that too. We'll see. But those are my 2 go-to candies. Comment below, what are your favorite fall time candies? I think that's going to be about it for the vlog today. We might do one more activity this evening, and I'll put that footage at the end if we get around to it. But my kids are running back to the car now from soccer. Thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I have more fall themed recipe videos coming out very soon. And give this video a thumbs up if you like my vlog. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more vlogs, day in the lifestyle videos, and I'll see you again soon.